You deposit your first paycheck, $500. 2 weeks of work, 40 hours each week, 80 hours total. You watch the numbers update on your phone screen. The balance climbs from 0 to 500. It feels good. It feels like progress. 6 months later, you check again. $412. You've been spending, sure, but you've also been adding money. Where did it all go? Rent, groceries, gas, that emergency car repair, your friend's birthday dinner. The balance never seems to grow. It just cycles. Money comes in, money goes out, and you're always hovering around the same place. Meanwhile, your boss takes another vacation. 3rd one this year. You see the photos on social media. Clear water, white sand, drinks with little umbrellas. You wonder how he does it. He doesn't work 3 times as hard as you. He doesn't work 3 times the hours. But somehow his money multiplies while yours evaporates. Here's what nobody tells you when you're starting out. Money isn't just currency. It's a tool that builds more tools, but only after you have enough of it. Think about it this way. You need a car to get to work. That car costs money to maintain. Oil changes, tire rotations, eventually new brakes. You're driving a 15-year-old sedan that breaks down twice a year. Each breakdown costs you $400 you don't have, plus the wages you lose from missing work. You're paying a poverty tax just to stay employed. Your boss drives a 3-year-old car. It barely needs maintenance. When it does, the repairs are covered under warranty. He's not losing money to keep his transportation running. His car is simply transportation. Yours is a constant drain. That's the first advantage money provides. It eliminates the small expenses that bleed you dry, but it goes deeper. You live paycheck to paycheck, so when your refrigerator dies, you can't buy a new one outright. You finance it. 12 months. No interest, except you miss one payment and suddenly you're paying 23% interest on a refrigerator. A $400 appliance costs you $540 by the time you're done. Your boss buys the same refrigerator. He pays cash. $400. Done. No interest, no monthly payments, no stress about due dates. He saves $140 simply by having $400 available. The gap widens. Now consider investments. You finally save $1,000. You're proud of it. You put it in a savings account. It earns 0.01% interest, roughly 10 cents per year. Congratulations. Your boss has $50,000 in an index fund. Conservative estimate, it grows 7% annually. That's $3,500 he makes without working, without thinking, without doing anything except having money in the first place. In 1 year, his money earned 3.5 times your entire savings balance. He takes that $3,500 and reinvests it. Next year, his balance is $53,500. The year after, it earns more. The growth compounds. His money makes money, and that money makes more money. And the pile grows exponentially while you're still trying to save your second $1,000. This isn't about intelligence. It's not about work ethic or discipline or making better choices. You're both buying the same refrigerator. You're both investing in similar funds. The only difference is the starting position. Money doesn't just buy things. It buys time, security, and opportunity. But the most valuable thing it buys is more money. And that advantage accelerates the longer you have it. So how does someone actually break this cycle? How do you get from $400 that disappears every month to money that works for you instead of against you? The answer isn't what you want to hear, but it's the truth. You need to stop the bleeding first. Every subscription service you're not actively using, every convenience purchase, every small leak needs to be plugged. Not because lattes are destroying your future, because you need to see money accumulate instead of vanish. That psychological shift matters more than the dollars themselves. Track every expense for 1 month. Not to shame yourself. To find the patterns you don't see. Most people discover they're spending $200 monthly on things they forgot they were paying for. Streaming services on autopay. Gym memberships they haven't used in 8 months. Phone insurance that costs more than just replacing the phone. Cut everything that isn't essential. Take that $200 and put it somewhere you can't easily touch it. A separate savings account. An envelope in your drawer. Anywhere except your checking account where it'll disappear into groceries and gas. Now you're saving $200 monthly. In 6 months, you have $1,200. That's your emergency fund starter. Not enough to replace a transmission, but enough to handle a broken refrigerator without financing it. You just saved yourself $140 in interest. See how this works? The first advantage of having money is not paying extra for everything. Keep building that fund to $1,000 minimum. Then shift your strategy. You're not saving to have savings anymore. You're saving to deploy. Take any extra money beyond that emergency cushion and eliminate your highest interest debt. Credit cards first. Personal loans second. Anything charging you double-digit interest is actively working against you. Every dollar you put toward that balance is a guaranteed return equal to the interest rate. Paying off an 18% credit card is an 18% return on investment. Show me a stock that does that consistently. Once the high-interest debt is gone, you've freed up monthly payments. That money doesn't go toward more spending. It goes toward the next debt or into building your emergency fund to 3 months of expenses. This part takes years, not months. Years. But here's what changes. You stop operating in crisis mode. A car repair doesn't crater your budget because you have a cushion. You're not paying interest on past emergencies anymore. You're breaking even instead of falling behind. That's the foundation. Only after this foundation exists can you start thinking about making money work for you. Open a retirement account, even if you can only contribute $50 monthly. In 30 years, assuming 7% growth, that $50 monthly becomes $61,000. Your contributions total $18,000. The other $43,000 is just compound interest doing what it does. The earlier you start, the more powerful this becomes. Someone who invests $200 monthly starting at age 25 will have more at retirement than someone who invests $400 monthly starting at age 40. Same interest rate. The first person just had time on their side. This isn't a get-rich strategy. You're not going to retire early or buy a yacht. But you will stop being one emergency away from catastrophe. You'll stop paying the poverty tax on everything. And eventually, maybe years from now, you'll have money that generates returns instead of debts that generate interest. The system is designed to keep you on the wrong side of that equation. Getting to the other side requires years of discipline that feel pointless in the moment. But compounding works both ways. Debt compounds against you. Savings compound for you. The question is which side you're feeding. You won't feel rich next month. You probably won't feel different next year. The progress happens in increments too small to notice day to day. But check back in 5 years, 10 years. The gap between you and the person who didn't start begins to look like the gap you're staring at right now between you and your boss, money. Breeding money isn't magic. It's just math plus time. The people who benefit from it aren't smarter or more deserving. They just started earlier or inherited the starting position. You're behind, but behind doesn't mean stuck. It means you're playing catch-up, and catch-up is possible if you actually start moving. The cycle breaks the moment you have enough money to stop paying extra for everything. Enough to avoid interest. Enough to wait for deals instead of paying full price out of desperation. Enough to invest instead of just survive. Getting there takes longer than it should. But staying where you are guarantees nothing changes. Your $400 can become $4,000. $4,000 can become $40,000. It just requires years of doing things that don't feel like they matter. That's how money works. Slowly, then all at once.